is hard. Take two. Uh, Welcome. I hope that you're having a great day, and I'm so happy that you stopped to visit with me and allow me to show you my works in progress. Yep, I have a lot of works in progress. It doesn't really bother me. I just enjoy stitching, and having things started just means that when the mood strikes, I can pick up any of them that I want, and that's a good thing. Um, yeah, this is December 30th. It's Monday. Go Monday. It is dreary here. Dreary, dreary, dreary. It is above freezing. It's about 34 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're only getting rain. Of course, the ground is frozen, so there is some ice, but it's not the freezing, icy rain that I guess is going from the Midwest all the way over here to New England and the eastern states. So be safe wherever you are. Be safe. Be safe out there. I know I'm silly today, and all I'm drinking is lemon ginger tea in my new coffee mug that I got for Christmas from my daughter and my grandchildren, and it is a Jack Skellington, and it has 0. And yay, go Jack Skellington. So, since we last spoke, I did get my letter H fairy finished. I said that I was going to continue to work on her and hope to get a finish. And she is a Nora Corbett design, letters from Nora. And that is what she looks like. And I finished her. She is on a piece of 18 count Aida that I dyed myself using a vinegar and oil. I used household oil. It helped me get those blotchy spots to keep the color and the dye separated. And I used the vinegar, just helps to set the color. So, yep, and I washed it. You can't smell anything. It's perfectly fine, clean and good, and the color stayed true. And the letter H fairy I did with all beads from my stash. I didn't use any of the Mill Hills or Treasures. This is all beads that I had in my stash. Yeah, and I love her. I think she is beautiful. So that is no longer a WIP. So it's not number 1. And the other piece that I wanted to get to is still a WIP. I'm not going to get anything else finished. But I was working on another Nora Corbett. This is from Holiday Village, and it's called Coffee House, and it's beautiful. It has all of my favorite, well, not all of my favorite colors, but it has a beautiful colorway that I'm really enjoying stitching. And it has 4 different Krynics in it. So it is sparkly, and it has lots of beads. I haven't started beading because I haven't finished cross-stitching, and I usually bead last. Unless I can't stand it, then I'll bead a little bit. But I haven't started yet. And this is Nora Corbett's Coffee House, at least where I stopped. Next time I go in, I do have a mistake that I have to go back and fix, but you can see the roof is all silver 001 HL high luster Krynic, and the green around this window is Krynic. The pots here on the topiaries are Krynic. All of the spaces left in this tree are for beads. There's lots of white in this design. It's beautiful. I love it. I think I made a mistake somewhere here around the bottom of this part of the building, so yep, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that, because that was a while ago. But no worries. If nothing else, I will stitch over it and move on. Sometimes you do what you gotta do. So that is the first WIP I'm showing you, because that is the last one that I worked on. I am not going to be showing you WIPs in any particular any particular order. These are just going to be how they come out of the containers. I have 3 containers and a couple of big bags, and I have a piece over here that's kind of on its own. So we shall see. And I've already tried to do this once and failed. So now we're going to go back to things I was stitching in November. And that's not how I'm doing it either, but you can see this is in a Dachshund project bag that I made myself. And I called November Dachshund November because my dog Wally is part Dachshund. And so these are the pieces of that are in my Dachshund bag. Let's see, I'm going to try just to get them all out. Let's see, the first thing I worked on was Dachshund Christmas. And I'm not doing the background, I'm just doing the Dachshund and the greenery and ornaments. And he's beautiful. He came from an Etsy shop, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It is called a Dachshund Christmas, so you could probably Google it if you're interested. I'm stitching it on 25 count, easy count Lugana, and it's a 13 by 18 piece, and I'm doing it 1/1, I believe. Usually I write it somewhere. Let's see if I put it on the chart. I didn't write it down. I think it's 1/1. But this is as far as I've gotten. And most of that is Dachshund head. And I'm really enjoying that. That's a great stitch. And it reminds me a lot of my Wally, because Wally is a black and tan. He's a little bigger than your average Dachshund because he's also part Jack Russell Terrier. But he has a Dachshund appearance, and he has got kind of stubby legs, but they're a little bit longer than normal. Not too much because he's still kind of short. Actually, my dog Precious that we just got, that's part Chihuahua, is taller than Wally, but he weighs twice as much as she does because he's much longer. And the next piece in my bag here is, I call this one Dachshund Jazz. I'm not sure what the name of it is. It's a Riolis kit, and I just started this in November. And I just think, you know, I have 6 cats and 5 dogs. And Wally is kind of my, my special friend. And you can see here I got most of one cat finished, and the Dachshund head is pointed up, but it's pretty much right where I left him in November. Another one that I'm looking forward to getting back to. It's a fun stitch. And I will probably be able to finish fairly quickly if I ever just focus on it. I will come back again, I'm not sure if it'll be before the new year, and discuss some plans. And if you know me, you know I don't set plans in stone, because when I think I do that, God just laughs at me and everything changes. So the other stitch that I worked on in November that was Dachshund related, I finished Halloweenies, so I started Turkey Sausage by Plum Street Samplers. These are incredibly cute and fun to stitch. And this is also on fabric that I dyed myself. And that's what that one looks like. I've got the word sausage and the top hat of one of the dogs. So, yep. That's a fun one. And I keep most of them in these zippered bags, mesh bags that you can get on Amazon. If I think of it, I will try to link it below. So that is that. Okay. A piece that I said that if I got the coffee house finished, that I would start or work on before the end of the year, which I didn't get to, is the Mandela Cat, which is part of the awesome cross stitch calendar for 2019. And I don't have a picture of it. I just have a chart that I copied for my working copy. But I'm doing it on a 16 count Apple Tart Ada by Color and Cotton. And this is a gorgeous color. And if you get a chance to get any Color and Cotton fabric, I can highly recommend the Ada. It's beautiful, soft and fun to stitch on. And that's as far as I've gotten with the Mandela Cat. And I'm not sure, I may have used different colors. Can't really remember. But for some reason I'm remembering that the face was a little bit different than the picture in the calendar. I guess we'll find that out the next time I work on it and I show it to you. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of bending down and picking up. Sorry. Let's see. Oh! And that was Mandela Cat. And this is a dimensions kit called Meow. You think I have a cat and dog thing? I think so. Although they're not all cats and dogs, so don't worry. But there's Meow. This is a really easy dimensions kit, and it comes with that wooden hoop to display it in, which I think I will when I finish it. But for now, I will show you how far I've gotten. And for some reason, I thought I had finished it, but I didn't. Obviously. But that's what Meow looks like. He's coming along pretty good. And my needle binder on the front is a canary, and the back of it is a robin. Because I'm a little weird that way. And it's a needle binder that I made myself out of bird buttons. Sorry for the rustling. And the zippers. I have been enjoying watching several people's WIP parades. I've been watching them though on my television, snuggled up with a couple of cats and a couple of dogs, so I haven't been commenting, but I have really been enjoying them. So thank you for sharing your WIP parades too. This is the Old Holy Night Nativity and Kay of Kay's Cross Stitch. Kara, she finished this last year and it's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. This is also on a piece of, I think it's a piece of Ada that I dyed myself. It's 18 count. And that's what that looks like. And you can see I've got some of the manger started and sheep. And I think this is Mary's arm, and this might be Joseph over here. I have a long ways to go on this, and I didn't even pick it up during Christmas. We didn't get to a lot of Christmas stitching this year. Maybe that's why Christmas felt so weird to me this year. I don't know. We decorated and did it all, but okay. And this is Play Ball, Home Run. I always call it Play Ball, but it's actually Home Run, and it's a button and bead Mill Hill kit. My brother was always big into baseball. My father was always big into baseball. We were a baseball family. I was, at least while I was home. And this is as far as I've gotten with that. And I'm doing this on just a piece of scrap fabric. And yeah, doesn't quite fit. I'm just going to go as far as I can and then use it maybe as a patch on a jacket. And then, oh, this is one of my most favorite WIPs. I did Dragons of Sumatra. I finished that last year. I purchased Squirrels of Sumatra this year. And I started Forest of Sumatra. And that's what Forest of Sumatra looks like. And it's an ink circles design. And they're fun. You can see that this is a single color. And it's beautiful. I love that color. Nothing wrong with that color. But I did Dragons of Sumatra on my own hand-dyed fabric. And I did my own color selection. So I did the same thing with Forest of Sumatra. And this is a different color fabric, but I did dye it myself. And this is what that looks like. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying this. And that's like 3 different colors of floss. So those are just fun. I really enjoy these Sumatra pieces. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see. I have a piece of cardboard in this bin that's separating what I've shown from what I still have to show. Okay. Myth and Magic, a book. This is a WIP I started, I think, in 2017. I'm not sure. But it's out of this book. And I have a lot of books. Someday I may show you a panning of just my bookshelf here in my room. I'll show you a picture of what she's going to look like as soon as I find her. I have to lean down and pick it up. This comes from not having enough room. So there she is, and she's beautiful, coming through a mist and a spray of water. I feel like she's coming back victorious from like a battle or something. She's just beautiful. And she's by Susan Penny, is the designer. Excuse me again. And I'm doing this on 18 count Aida that I dyed myself. And I'm not doing it in a bright color. I'm doing it in a darker color. And she's still going to look like she's coming out of a mist. And hopefully like she's still victorious. But that's what my fabric looks like. And I dyed this myself too. And it's a lot of fun. And I wish I could get back to it. You'll hear that a lot. I think we all say that a lot. And I have been pretty focused the end of this year, working on things that I already have in progress. I haven't really done too many new starts. And this is Gwen. I've actually considered sidelining her because I just don't enjoy stitching her, even though she has a beautiful green dress. I started this in 2017. She's a Nora Corbett. She's a bewitching pixie. And I restarted her once because I tried to do her on that linen, and it's like working on rice paper, so that didn't gel with me. So I'm now working her on a piece of 18 count Aida that I dyed myself. And I really like the fabric. The fabric is nice and soft. And I actually have quite a bit of her done. And I'm just hanging in there. She's coming with me. So there's what I have done on Gwen. And the dress is beautiful. I mean, green and black. Beautiful. So I will keep working on her. I guess doing a WIP parade is really a good thing. This is going to give me an opportunity to reorganize some stuff. Maybe. Hopefully. All right, next in this box is another. This is a lavender lace, and it's Michael. And I'm doing 3 pieces by Lavender and Lace or Nora Corbett. And Michael is the piece that I'm doing for my son Michael. Michael the Archangel. And I'm doing it on a piece of 32 count exotic orchid Lugana. And I really need to get these worked on too. This is how much I have done on Michael. Yeah, that's his sleeve. Okay. But he's beautiful. Colors are gorgeous. I love the exotic orchid. I'm using the same fabric for all 3 pieces, Lady Alexandra, Ella, and Michael. And this, I should be embarrassed. Really, I should be embarrassed. This is a piece out of the, let's see, it's a collector series from In the Garden, and it is from July and August 1988. Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine, and you can see right here that it came to my house way back then, my original magazine. And this is what it looks like, will look like when it's finished, and it's beautiful. And I have both of these other gardens, the Victorian garden and the Colonial garden, all stitched, hand framed, and on my walls, and I have had from the 1980s. For some reason, I lost steam with the 3rd one, and I'm having a hard time getting it back together. But it's coming with me into 2020. Kind of scary. Excuse its discoloration. You know, it is what it is. And it is beautiful. I just need to finish it. I don't know if I'd ever frame it now, though, because you can still see my hoop marks from where I used to put it in a hoop. Now I stitch mostly in hand. Yes, for shame. That one's been around a while. And this is BB-8. I got this off Etsy from Stitch Line, and I started it May 4th. May the 4th be with you, of 2017. And if you haven't seen the new Star Wars movie and you like Star Wars, I recommend it. We went and saw it this past weekend. It was very good. My granddaughter, my 14-year-old granddaughter, said it left a hole in her heart. But it was good. And there's BB-8. He's almost done. Just have a wait. I do have a ways to go, but he's getting there. And I really love this rendition of BB-8. It looks like him. And this is just a 14 count. No, 18 count Ada that I dyed myself. I think it started, excuse me, life as a blue Ada, and I just added some, I'll show you, I just added more blue and maybe a little pink to it. But those are 2 colors that really look good with orange and gray. BB-8. And oh, this is another Mill Hill. I think it's a bead and button. Nope, it's a Jim Shore Mill Hill kit. And that's Percy Pig. And I need to get, I think it's Clarissa Cow and Sophie the Sheep, if I ever get Percy the Pig done. And this is what Percy's looking like. I think he's pretty cool looking. And I've got my tuxedo cat needle minder there. I could probably finish Percy this year, in 2020, I mean. Okay. And this is really one of the only Christmas pieces that I've stitched with any determination this year. And it's a Custom Crafts, and it's Wise Men. And it's a full coverage piece. It's a book. There's quite a few pages. I mean, not a ton compared to Haid, but enough. Doing it on 18 count, easy count, white gray pre-gridded Aida. And, you know, I don't think I ever showed anybody this, because at the last time I was stitching on it, which might have been in November before I switched to Dachshunds, I had said that I was going for a page 2 finish. And I did finish page 2. And I've started page 3. Let me see if I can move my parked threads aside. I have a problem with parking, but for some reason with this one, I can park okay. So I finished page 2, and you can see this wise man's head is completely finished. And I think I had a migraine the last video where I talked about this, and I said it was a guy's head, and I wanted to apologize. I was kind of called out for that, and I appreciate it. My father would have been horrified. Okay, video quit. He's a wise man. Whether he's Gaspar, Balthazar, or Melcher, I don't know. But this is fun. It's beautiful. And it's one that I definitely will finish. And that completes the box that I've been working on the most for 2019. Now, we'll move on to Halloween, because I did work on Halloween pieces for October. Now, most of these pieces I think I started in 13 for Halloween. That Cowgirl Kate Paints Aplenty started back, I don't know if it was 2017. It probably was. I really have to do some dark 13 stitching and get some of these pieces finished. So we're going to start out with a Spirited Mandala. This is out of Just Cross Stitch Halloween 2011. And that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. And you can see maybe some ghosts and pumpkins and haunted trees. And I'm doing it in DMC color variation 4245. And I'm doing it on a piece of 18 count Aida that I dyed myself. And I think it goes like that. That's what I've got done so far. It's beautiful. I really like this. And it is the designer's Tracy Horner. And I think that's Ink Circles, right? Yes, Ink Circles. So it's a beautiful piece. And that's the 2011 Just Cross Stitch collection if you're interested. Pick up my embroidery floss. I told you I'm going to be picking stuff up. Okay, so next one in this bag. Oh, this is a tilt and craft, and I just started this year with Candace, Slub Lover Stitches, here on YouTube and Instagram. Hi, Candace. And tilt and crafts, and there they are, the Sanderson sisters. And the pumpkin has a cat face on it. Really cool. It's a big one. I'm doing this on 25 count pre-gridded Lugana, I think. And I've got all the DMC in there. And I got a really small start. Oh. Hang in there. A couple of parked threads. There we go. And I think that's going down the first column. So that's all I got there. I think I've got navy blue and black in those few little pieces. And I keep in there floss. As I'm using it, I'm putting it on bobbins, and I'm putting it in this floss box. And then I've got another bag. And this is Ada that I coffee dyed. And it's called Double Toil and Trouble. And it's by the Prairie Schooler. Who doesn't like a little William Shakespeare? And that's how much I have done. And I've got beads down there for the flame of under the cauldron. Having fun with that. Definitely need to do more Halloween stitching and get some of these pieces finished. Because I have a lot of them. Okay, here's Miss Fortune, and this one I actually did some big color changes on. It is a Prairie Schooler, and it's a witch and her crystal ball with the number 13 in it, and some bats. And I've really made some color changes. And this is also some of that Ada that I just coffee stained myself. And that's what she's looking like. And on there I think I'm using some satin, DMC satin, and some metallic, which, yeah, metallic. Oof. I never recommend DMC metallic for anything, unless you like it to divide itself up into separate pieces and not like to play together at all. Then, they're all coming out at once. This one's pretty. This is called Halloween Pumpkin. And it's also from the Just Cross Stitch magazine. I think this may also be 2011. Not sure if I wrote this one. Nope, 2012. So this is the Just Cross Stitch 2012. And it's called Halloween Pumpkin. And it's just the pumpkin. And the border here is really pretty. And I printed this out in black and white. And this is on a piece of Ada that I dyed myself. I think it started out Life as Gray Ada, and I just coffee stained it. But that's what that looks like. The cat's looking kind of like a wolf, but it's a cat. You see the purples and stuff. definitely need to do more because I don't want to give up on them. I do like them. Just, you know, like you, it's not the only thing I do. Oh, and here's one I really like too. Oh my goodness. This is Leslie Ann Ivory, and it's a Hade, and it's cats at Halloween. Isn't that beautiful? I love this piece. And I'm doing this on a piece of, I think this is just 25 count white blue Ghana. I should be embarrassed. This is what I have done. Some of the border, but it's started, so it's there whenever I want to pick it up. And I'm not a person who enjoys starting pieces. I really prefer to pick it up and just work on it. And here is Who's There, also by Prairie Schooler. Also want a piece of 18 count Ada that I coffee dyed myself. And that's how far I've gotten there. This is Away We Ride. Away we ride. And this is also on that Ada that I coffee dyed myself. That's a pretty good sized piece. Let's see if I can hold it down a little. And that's where I am with that. I think at the time I didn't have that color DMC to fill in the bird wings. And I did my own colorway on this. I changed the color of the house and inside the windows and stuff. And I just didn't have a color I wanted to use on the bird's wings. I think I have it now though, so I'll get back to this. Some 13, some dark 13. Oh, I think this might be the last Halloween piece in that bag. Which makes me kind of wonder what happened to Wicked Night. Is that in here too? 2 pieces in this bag. This piece is Hanging Out with My Ghoul Friends. And there they are, hanging out with my ghoul friends. And this is also a piece of 18 count Ada that I coffee dyed myself. And you can't really see it in this light, I guess, in the camera. You can see it in person, hanging out with my ghoul friends. I like that. That's from a 2012 Just Cross Stitch Halloween magazine too. And then also in this bag is Wicked Night. It is on a piece of 18 count opalescent Ada that I dyed myself. Excuse me. Dropped the colors that I'm working on Wicked Night on the floor. And this is how far I've gotten with that. This is actually all done in black in the magazine. I'm just changing the colors. So this I could have done pretty quick, I think, because I don't have a good picture of that. And there's only this little thumbnail here in the piece I printed. But I am enjoying that too. And so that's it in my Halloween bag. Although I'm not saying I don't have other Halloween pieces. I could have. These are just the pieces that I've sorted out to my Halloween bag. And I'm not going to edit this, so I'm afraid this could be long, and I could struggle. You can fast forward. Okay, just a little bit more to go back in this. These are the bags I make out of the placemats that I could get at AC Moore. And we won't even talk about AC Moore, because it's my understanding the man who owned AC Moore died, and his son was left the business in his will, and the kid just wanted the money. So he sold AC Moore to the people who own Michael's, and they're closing all but 40 of the stores, and I guess they aren't taking care of the people who work there. Not a pleasant thing. You know, it's not something that you think about. So, and I don't know the whole story, but the little bit I've heard, you know, didn't impress me. Okay, so now I have kind of a general bag. It's got birds on it. We'll look in here. Okay, well, here's a good one. I think there's only two in here, and they're both Heaven and Earth designs. And this one is by Marta Dalig, and it is His Only Friend, and it's charted by Michelle Sayeda of Hade. And I'm just doing this on a 20, is it 14 count? Right, it could be a 14 count Aida. And I think I've got a couple of, let me see. I don't even think this is a page finish. 14 is really big. But here's how far I've gotten. His Only Friend. And if you can't tell, because the picture is really dark, this little guy is sitting in very dark curtains, and there in his lap is a little tiny kitten. It's called His Only Friend. And then the other piece in here is my Quick Stitch K, also by Hade. Artwork is by Tamara Newman. Tamara. And that's what that looks like. It's just a K with a dragon wrapping around it. I changed the colors on it. Not really thrilled with the colors that I had. Kind of got some help. And I'm not sure I like it. But it's in this tube. Let's see. It's all wrapped up. And there's the K. And that's in a variegated floss. And I stuck with the gray outlining for the letter. And the blue and green is the dragon. Because blue and greens and blues are my favorite colors. Although I'm always happy with a good red too. Actually, I like color. Hence the Be Colorful. Okay, so that was that bag. That was pretty quick. I just have to get it back together. And let's see. I have to keep it in some semblance of order, or it will be a disaster. Not that it isn't already a disaster. It's not really. I do have a written record of my WIPs. I do that much. Okay. Okay, so we're on to this tub. Now I don't know if I showed this because I've done this twice. So if I showed it already, I'm sorry. If I didn't show it already, yay. Just looking for the picture. This is the witching hour. This is an ornament-sized jade. I love it. It's gorgeous. It's, let's see, it's ornament style. And the designer is Lisa Parker, and it was charted by Michelle Sayeda. And I really do like this piece. It's an ornament size. I have to say I should be finished with it by now, but I'm not. And there he is. He's beautiful. And that's the matching needle minder. So, beautiful. And then, let's see. I have some things that I haven't started in here that aren't supposed to be in here. They're supposed to be in a different box. Nope. And here is an ornament-sized jade called A Long Winter's Nap. And that's by Donna Gelsinger, charted by Michelle Sayeda. I started this last year. It's on 32 count, easy count grid, pre-gridded fabric. And I just worked on it, I think, for not even an hour or two. So that's 32 count. It's very small. And I think it's 1/1. And yeah. And then, oh, this is my Marvel piece. Let's see, I don't remember who I bought this from, if it was Stitch Line or who, but it was an Etsy shop. And that's what that looks like. I love it. I don't care. Don't tell me. It's a cool piece. And this is how far I've gotten. I can leave it folded because I haven't reached the fold yet. Still working on the M and the A and the superheroes therein. And I'm sure you can recognize the Incredible Hulk. I love the Marvel series. And the movies were great. I'm sad that they're over. And this is another jade. This is called Cheshire Cat. I think this is one that only has 15 or 16 colors. It's got, you'll have to excuse the cat hair. Find the picture. It's a mini. Artwork is by Sheila Rayon. It's really cool. I love that. It is 16 colors, which for a jade is nothing, because most of my jades are, 90 colors. Haven't worked on this one in a while. But sorry. And that's as far as I've gotten with that one. I've restarted this one a couple of times. I think one of the reasons I haven't been working on it is because I have it on scroll rods. And I really prefer stitching in hand now. I just find it so much more relaxing and easy. Okay, and here is artwork is by Ciro Marchetti, one of my favorite designers for Haid. And it's called The Wizard. I just saw somebody finish the large one. And you know what? This is going to be a restart. It's not a WIP. I lied. I got to restart it. I had 2 pages done. And I didn't like it because I was doing it in a half stitch. 10th stitch. I didn't like the coverage. So this one is not a WIP. It's a restart. And here, this I actually was the one who asked to have this done in a mini. And they did. This is artwork by Christina Hess. It's charted by Michelle Sayetta. And it's Napoleon Bonaparte. And I had to have this because I had a Basset Hound. And his name was Doak. And I thought, Napoleon Bonaparte is pretty special for a Basset Hound. So, I'm going to show you where I am on this one. Again, pretty sad. There he is. Yay. This one I'm going to get back to. This one I really want to do. Ooh, this is the one. Another Heaven and Earth Designs. Oop, nope, it's not the one. I lied. This is Mini Manhattan. This is a mini. It's Manhattan Wonderland. Artwork is by Jane Wooster Scott, Michelle Sayetta of Haid. And I worked on this quite a bit at the beginning of the year with Full Coverage Fanatics, and still, that's as far as I got. I think I did have 1 page finished and part of a 2nd page, so yeah. I'm just looking to see if I left a tag on here for the size of the fabric, but I didn't. It's fun. It's just that the color is just so pale that you can see the grid lines through it, and it's just kind of a little off-putting. I'll get through it. I mean, I know it is just the lightness of the colors. I'm not a big fan of stitch in white, and this is all light colors. I have some other ones in here I haven't started yet. I have a lot of patterns. A lot. Okay, this one I started last year, and alright, stopped again. This is a long video. This one I started last year, and I really love, and I allowed myself to be dissuaded from doing it. But I am going to do this, and I'm going to finish it, and it's called Evening Rehearsals. And it's beautiful. I love it. I live near the county barn where the snow plows go out of constantly. So if you hear my dogs barking, it's because they hear the snow plows out on the street. And although they've lived here for years, they haven't figured out that they're not enemies. They're good. All they know is They're different. Okay. And so, evening rehearsals, I didn't get very far with either. And this looks like a 32 count maybe. No, it's 25 count. I'm doing it 1/1. And like I said, I let myself get this weighted. But that's how much I got done. And it doesn't help that my hands are not working today because they're cold. And it's damp. I'm going to put this one in the bag with Mini Manhattan because I think of them as kind of the same type of thing. Okay. I'm looking at all my heights that I've printed out, but I haven't started. And of sleeves. May not have any more in here. Started. I'm trying to find out. Okay. I have to put this away and get out another box. So I will be back in a second. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay, I'm back. Whew. I just realized that there were pieces missing and I didn't know what I had done with them. So I just had to do a bit of a search and rescue. But I'll show you some of the other pieces that I did have that I just stopped to kind of rearrange. And one of those pieces I mentioned earlier when I showed you Michael. And this one is a Mirabilia. It's Nora Corbett, and it's Ella, the Frog Princess. And this one is for my daughter, Rebecca. And I haven't gotten very far on this one either. And I don't even know which way is up. I think it's might be, I don't know. But that's as far as I've gotten on that one. And my needle minder says, "For this child I have prayed," if that's any indication. I have to get back to this one too. I had some thoughts about this, and I'm actually thinking about putting some pink Krynic and stuff in it and make it very sparkly. And then the other piece, though, that was also 32 count exotic orchid Lugana. And then there is Lady Alexandra. And I'm doing this one for my daughter Alexandria, who lives in Arizona. She's my oldest child. And she's the one that's going with me to Stitch Nanigans next April. And let's see, that's the purse. So I think that's right side up. And that's how far I've gotten on that one. Again, not a lot of progress. These aren't really my favorite things to stitch on. I'm not a big building person, and I'm not a big people person. No, stitching. So sometimes I wonder, I think they're going to be beautiful. I think my kids will appreciate it. I just, not really my favorite things to stitch. And while we're on that, I really wish I had pulled this out on the 27th and stitched on it. This is Marching Mice. It's by, artwork is by Scott Gustafson, and it's charted by Michelle Sayetta. And I'm only doing the leader here with his baritone, because I'm doing it in memory of my husband, Ted, who played baritone in the marching band. and he loved it. And some of my threads, maybe. This is how far I've gotten on him, and that's the only part I'm doing him. That's only his hat and his little pom-pom. And it's on a piece of beautiful color and cotton Aida. Called Bluebird. And I think my stitch minder on there is a bluebird. Let's see. No. Oh, yes. On the front, it's a redbird, a cardinal. On the back, it's a bluebird. And I dropped it. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Got it. Okay, we're getting there. Let's see. I will show you a blackbird design just to kind of change the tone a little bit. And this is Yellow Submarine. I have I think most of these pieces, maybe not blackbird, but I have the rest of them. And when I finish this, I will start another one. Let me see when I finish this. This might have to be a focus piece. This is also on a piece of color and cotton fabric. And it's a beautiful teal color. And this is how far I am on this. Really pretty. And let's see. What I'm really enjoying is that I really haven't forgotten any of them, which is good. And then there is Lady of the Flag by Mirabilia. And I'll show you her inside the protective bag I have her in. And I have all of her floss kitted in a separate bag. And I think I will have to... Oh, wait. That's not Lady of the Flag. That's America. I think we better stick with Lady of the Flag. She is in this bag. And I'm doing her on the primitive hair fabric, the preamble to the Constitution. And that's how much I have done on that one. Let's see. Yeah. She's a good stitch too. This is a linen fabric. Not my favorite, but not awful. I'm enjoying it. I think I'm doing it 2/2. And then I'm doing also, I think I only got a couple left. We're getting there. America by Thea Governor, or Gouverneur. I'm doing my quilt pin. I've got this in a pillowcase. It's still on scroll rods, even though I haven't worked on it in a while. I have most of the kit is in this tin. My needle minder is the flag of the United States, and there's even... I should probably put that on the inside. A little pamphlet with some of her other kits. Oh, it's just her floss in there. I'll show you the inside. Sorry. And this actually was a biscuit tin that I got at Harrods department store in London when we visited, when my daughter was living over there. And I haven't gotten very far on this at all. Gerald is working on London on Black Ada, and his is looking really good. Mine is kind of pitiful, but I will get there. Let's see if I can find the picture, since I didn't even show you the picture of what America looks like. Here she is. And I think the little bit I have done is right in here. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So I'm going to take this off the scroll rods, and I will probably work on it more often. I like the scroll rods. I just can't, I don't know. I mean, I have a table stand that I made out of PVC, and that's usually what I set this on to work. But, I don't know. It's long. Tin bag in there. Set that back up. Okay, so what really scared me was I knew that I've been working on Simply Meant to Be, which is another HAID, and it's a mini, and there's a whole bunch of people working on it. And I started this, or I restarted it, I should say, because I think I've restarted it like 4 times. Trying to find fabric I really enjoyed stitching it on. And so it's with Daphne of Mama Metzger. And maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's Simply Meant to Be. It's Jack Skellington. And Zero and Sally and Mr. Oogly Boogly and and I have this on a Panko thread organizer, and I have that much done. Definitely need to get back to this because I love it. So I had to search for him because I forgot that I put him up on the shelf over here so I could get to him. Oh well. And I think that's it. Oh, no. But this one isn't cross stitch. This one's actually needlepoint. I really love this. This is on 18 count needlepoint fabric, and I have it on stretcher bars, and it's called Flamingos in Flight, and it's the American Quilt Collection. And I got this at my L&S, which is Bat and Kill Stitchery. And I think that's the top. So it's beautiful. It has all kinds of pinks and mauves and purple fabrics and ribbons, and a lot different than cross stitch, but I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, how to get to that too. Lots of things to get to. I think that's it. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch my video and make sure that I found everything. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too disjointed. I know I have a lot of WIPs. Like I said, to me that's not a problem. Oh, shoot! It's the gift that keeps on giving. I have another WIP. This is honestly the last one. Another one I had to go look for because I knew I had it. And you guys know it. It's In the Garden Shed by Irina Garmashova, and it's charted by Michelle Sayetta of Haid. And that's what that looks like. How could I ever forget that? This is like the first real Haid that this is a full-sized Crazy Pants Haid. Crazy Pants for me. And it's on 18 count Aida. And it's been on and off stretcher bars because it's really big. Kind of feel like Jules when I do that. Show it all stretched out. I don't generally wad it up though. And I even had it on frames at one point that used the Velcro. Won't do that again. But here's where I am with this. And it looks like I've got quite a bit done. But alas, it's a full-size Haid. And it's really only the top corner. But I enjoy it, so, and that is all that matters. Doesn't matter how big it is, doesn't matter how long it's going to take me to stitch it, if I even ever finish it, as long as I'm enjoying it. And I think you can see that it's just like up in here. This cat is coming in and this one, but that's where I am, up in that corner. And I have this pattern, this chart, keep in a binder. Because there's 63 pages, I think. But it's a large print. Yep. So, now, that is all of my WIPs. I hope that you enjoyed it. I've been enjoying all of your WIP parades too. Like I said, I enjoy seeing what everyone's working on. So my next video will probably be maybe a planning video. But like I said, I don't plan. But I will show you how I track my WIPs and show, well, I don't track my WIPs as much as I show when I work on things. But that's always interesting. And Jen Lee has a planner out on Etsy, and it looks beautiful, but I didn't buy it because it's way more than I ever want to write down about cross stitching. I mean, it's a big book, and although my book looks like a big book, it's really simple. So yeah, we'll talk about it. Until then, like Cinderella's mother says, be kind and be courageous. And as I say, be colorful. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless. Happy New Year. Bye.